everybody, welcome to Kosaki Games. I'm Push. Welcome back to Kosaki Games. This is our first episode of HIPFIRE, a new PUBG Mobile podcast. We have a few guest hosts today. I'm going to introduce them for you guys, and then we are going to hit on the topic of, is PUBG Mobile dying? Or is it alive and well? We'll find out today, and we'll discuss all the ins and outs for what's going on with PUBG Mobile, and if we think it's dying or if we think it's not. Let me introduce our guest hosts. First up, we have Mike from TR Games and the creator of Monstacord, a Discord bot for Pokemon game adventure. It's really awesome. If you are on our Discord, we have it there, and you can also check out the official Discord on Monstacord from Mike. We also have Sen from Error Gaming with us today, and Pawdie as well from Existence, a PUBG Mobile Pro team. Welcome everybody. How's it going?
It's going good.
Hello.
All right, so first up we have the player base of PUBG Mobile. So I would just want to ask you guys, if you guys didn't search anything or whatever beforehand, I want to know what you guys think, just from experience, not from any statistics or whatnot, but what do you guys feel in game? Is there more people from when you first started playing? And is there less people? Let me know when you started Season 1, Season 2, and do you feel like the player base has increased or has it decreased? Let's start with Mike. What do you feel?
I definitely started in Season 3, so I didn't get to see how Season 1 and 2 was. But as far as the player base goes now, I believe it's actually gained more than it's lost, because before I used to see a lot of bots, and I'm actually in Platinum now, so it's Platinum, but I'm not seeing as many bots. Even when I go to other servers to try to get like titles or anything like that, I'm seeing more players.
Okay, so even if you go to like lower rank, like a silver or something, you're still seeing on average more players than bots.
Definitely.
Okay, since from Season 3 to now Season 5, it's kind of increased, like over Season 4 and Season 5?
Season 5 actually increased. 4, I still noticed a lot of that. 5, I heard something about them players complaining about bots.
Okay, so maybe that has to do with it too. All right. Let's hear what Sen has to say about what she feels. Let me know when you started, what season, and how do you feel the player base has either increased or decreased?
So I joined late Season 2, and in my opinion, it's pretty consistent, the player base. People come and people go. Yeah, I've seen many new players around, and I've seen some of the old players just going away, shifting to other games, or just taking a break. So I wouldn't say I see a big increase or decrease in the player base. And still a lot of bots, even in Crown, unfortunately, in FTP.
Yeah.
And not in TPP, though. In TPP, that's the thing. And some players are so bad that we assume they're bots, but they're not really.
That's another point, too.
Happens so much.
All right. Pawdie, this is just like a kind of an intro question, so don't want to spend a lot of time, but I just want to see how people feel, just without going to any statistics or anything. When did you start, and how do you feel if the player base has increased or decreased?
I started in Season 1, which was around March. The player increase is the same since then. As people come and go. The game's been updated a lot, and I could say it's much better, but there's still facts around that would make people think they should leave from stressing out over bugs and so on.
Okay. All right. Well, I started Season 1 as well, and I saw a huge increase. Obviously, it was a new game, so there was a huge increase of players. I think because of the different modes, and I think a lot of us here play more on the tournament competitive side. So I think because we play in first person, what I've noticed is that like I think first person has a lot less players. I think that's just because it's not as friendly to a casual player. I think there's more casual player base. But I think there's been sort of a steady increase. Like Sen said, I've seen old teams who are still around. Obviously, a lot of them disband or change names, but I've seen a lot of old players who've been here since season 1 still here, just like me and Pawdie. And I've also seen a lot of new players, but I've also seen players go. I've seen a lot of people just leave the scene, just up and out. They had enough, or were bored, or switched to a new game. So the actual statistic is it's been increasing, and they just hit over 200 million users. But of course, those could always be a little bit skewed. So I always like to see kind of how people feel who've been playing the whole time. So I think it's safe to say it's been increasing, at least at a normal pace. Nothing huge, but definitely think it's been increasing. Let's go to the next question, a little bit more in depth. At the end, for all the viewers who are watching, we will have viewer questions at the end. You guys can either type it out, or you can join our Discord, links in the description, and you guys can actually go onto our voice chat. We have Azza moderating it. You guys can go there, talk to him, and then when we're ready, you guys can ask us a question related to is PUBG dying, what you guys think, how you guys feel, if you want to tell us, or if you guys have a question sort of about it at the end of the segment, just to let you guys know. Think about those questions for the end. All right, the next question we have is this is kind of more of a perception question, but is PUBG Mobile, does it have enough content? I mean, too much content or not enough content? So some people are like, what do you mean too much content? Too much content as in is there too many modes? Is it splitting up the player base? Is it, making it not consistent? Or now they have new arcades where you're gonna like fight zombies and fight monsters, and that's kind of going outside of PUBG Mobile, what it's kind of directed at. So is that kind of watering it down? Are all the modes, all the arcade modes watering it down? Is it increasing it? Is it giving you new stuff to do? I want to hear kind of what everybody thinks about that. I think everyone's gonna have a little bit of a different opinion. Let's start off again with Mike. You're kind of the newest player to the game. How do you feel jumping in with all these arcade modes and all that stuff? How do you feel about it?
Arcade's okay. I mean, I haven't played a lot of arcade. I did play the beta version of PUBG with the zombies, and the zombies were okay, but I think they're going a little overboard with that. Like you said, this is supposed to be a PUBG game, and they're kind of veering away from that. Emulator player as well, so I'm not seeing everything that mobile sees. It's hard to explain because in seeing the beta version of the zombies itself kind of threw me for a loop, and I believe that they're veering away from the vision of PUBG.
Okay. Sen, what do you think about the modes, the new weapons? Is it too much? Should they just concentrate on making it really simple and solid and complete, or are all the new modes and stuff kind of good, keeps our interest on different stuff so we don't get bored, keeps it fresh? What do you think?
Oh, I love the variety content. I really like that they add more stuff, more maps. Like Candy is my favorite map. I love that it's there. I just wish that they would also focus on fixing the existing issues at the same time as they're adding the new things, like the hill glitch. We still have the hill glitch since season 2.
Oh, yeah, Miramar.
Like, the hill glitch, it's so annoying. Not only Miramar, really, but I wish they would focus on that. I think in terms of adding new things and ideas, there's still a lot of things to add. Like, where's the arcade and FPP mode? I'm asking, where's the war in FPP mode?
Oh, that's right.
Adding war to more maps than Erangel as well. There's still a lot to add, and for me, I like switching maps. I like doing different modes.
And you don't think it hurts the player base at all? Like,
I don't think it does, because everyone finds something for themselves. Like, if this game only stayed on Erangel and Miramar, I probably would leave by now.
All right,
because I'm so tired with Erangel. I don't want to play this map anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I like new maps too. All right, Pawdie, what do you think? You're kind of the oldest player here, I think. So what do you feel? You started off just like me, where there was no coin shop, no arcade. You know, you could hold a pistol. You didn't get a third pistol. All that stuff.
Yeah, the best thing from season 1 is the 8Xs on ARs, but they still need to fix those hill glitches and all those things before they focus and put it in zombies, which I have no interest in. Nor TP, but it's good to have options so you can get a bigger base on more people playing the game, which I guess is their goal from now on. And otherwise, from that, everything seems to be good. Just the pings are in customs. The pings is very bad sometimes.
The pings, yes, awful.
People affect from that a lot. What else is there? Like, they really focus only on the shops on the game. That's what Tencent really does. They put all the efforts in putting out closes, but you have so much faults in the game still which are not being taken care of.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think of a fight between PUBG and Fortnite.
Yeah. So I've been here again when there was just a blank lobby screen and there was no arcade mode. There was only third person. So there's really no modes to choose from. It was just third person, Aaron Gale, you know, no shop. You couldn't really do anything. You got a box, you got some crates like you would usually, just those very basic crates. And I actually really enjoyed the game a lot as its simple form, just because it was not, first you could run it on a lesser powerful device. It ran much smoother. There wasn't a bunch of advertising at you. There wasn't a bunch of red dots everywhere, and I feel like time to sync up with other people and stuff went really quickly, even at higher ranks. I notice now, even at Diamond and stuff, you can, like, matches can take 3-4 minutes to get, sometimes not. If you're at Crown or above, some people don't even, you know, they'll be Crown and like solo, they'll be like, we can't even get a match, so I'm gonna go over to squads or duos or something, which I hear a lot from people.
The matching times are awful. Oh my god, half an hour. I remember that. It still happens.
Yeah, if first person's worse. I do really like the new maps. I don't really like playing Miramar because of hill glitches and stuff like that. I think it's too slow of a map. And I do like Vinkendi. I like Sandhawk. I like the new maps and the new variety, the new strategy they bring. For arcade, I do like playing war mode. I hate the Car 98. I think it's useless in war mode, but I do like those modes. I think they shouldn't have 4 different ones, and I don't really think they should have killing the zombies and the monsters. I guess those are limited time, so, you know, give or take. I guess that's here or there, but I think some of the arcades they can condense. At least have a first-person arcade, so you can, if it's for practice. Do they even have first-person sniper? I mean, not sniper training, just regular training.
Arcade mode is first person.
Right, so nothing. So
exactly, they should add that before the zombie mode. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's something that's needed. I think sort of the arcade waters down the player base. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time, so they just play an arcade, a bunch of arcades instead. I think Sandhawk was supposed to be aiming to fixing that, but no one likes to play it because they don't get the points. So,
but they're adding Sandhawk for arcade now, I think.
For arcade,
added somewhere.
But third person.
Snakes.
So
funny when people in arcade they're gonna snake like in war mode.
Oh yeah.
So ridiculous.
The other part of this question is so what is like the most, what makes you guys stay here? What makes you want to keep playing? It's been a year since it came out. We'll start with Pawdie, since you've been here the longest. What makes you stay this whole time? Why are you still here after a year of playing PUBG?
Well, I'm a nurse and I'm always on the go, so it's good to have a mobile game that's very addictive to me. And I like it because I meet new people, and I'm a streamer too, and people like to watch these types of open field games, which is awesome. And about the war mode with the sniper rifle, it would be much better if when you get a crate drop, it's not an automatic weapon in it, because that just goes against everyone else with a bolt action.
Yeah, yeah. What about Sen? How do you feel? What do you think is keeping you here? What's addicting?
Oh, Sen.
Sen.
Yeah. I just like the game, really. I like that it's mobile. I like the community, meeting new people. I've met a lot of great people around, so it's all together. So it's Discord plus PUBG, really.
All right, and Mike, what keeps you here? I mean, you're kind of new, but so maybe it's a little bit still new for you. But what's that? You come from other games, I'm sure. So what makes this something you wanna already half a year in or whenever you got in? What made you want to jump to this game?
I mean, I've always played, like, Call of Duty.
Okay.
So it was one of those things. Like, when I first heard about this, see, I wasn't at the beginning, so I don't know exactly what was in the beginning. But what keeps me here now is the people that I actually play with, and then the new people I keep as well.
Okay, so a lot of you, all of you said community is part of it, and I think that's for every game, especially a multiplayer game. I think community is really important. I mean, that's why I started streaming. Is I was just doing it with my wife, and we had fun just playing together, and then playing with some people. I met my whole team. I met through my YouTube, and everybody here basically I met through my YouTube and just doing tournaments and meeting people, meeting teams. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. One of the reasons my team has been together so long is just because we're just friends. We're more friends than we are a team. So it keeps us together. We're just friends. And we're like, all right. We always have. For me, I find myself shutting off the game sometimes if my teammates or somebody I'm not really familiar with. If there's no one I like to play with on, then a lot of times maybe I'll play an arcade and wait. But usually I'll just shut it off and wait until and power it back on and see if someone's on, because I really like playing with somebody. And I think what makes me addicted to this game is, as opposed to like a Call of Duty or something, is more the because it's so open, and like Pawdie said, people like watching this kind of open world. A lot of things can happen. I think even though it's the same sort of simple game, it's a shooting game, the circle gets smaller, it's the same maps, and the same concept, but I think why I like it even more than like a Fortnite is because the action, especially with vehicles and frags and stuff like that, and the way the terrain is set up and stuff, it makes for very interesting and different situations all the time. I think that's why like PUBG Mobile or PUBG funny moments are interesting moments. I think those happen a lot, and I think that's also what makes it addicting to me, like refreshing, even though it's the same game.
Also, how realistic it.
Yeah, and it feels like when I die, it's really shocking. It's more of a shocking game than Fortnite is, for sure. Let's get on to the next question here. We got a couple more. Will the game get stale? This is sort of relating to. Oh, sorry. No, that was the last question. Hacking. Is this an issue for you guys now? Was it an issue before? Is it an issue now? Do you think it's something that will get solved? Is solved? Let me know what do you think on hacking in this game. Let's start with Mike, since you're new.
Ran into a few hackers, and yeah, at times it gets frustrating. But then again, I start thinking about it, and I mean, yes, they should go away. But like I said, I start thinking about it, and it gives me a challenge to go after them. It's not impossible to kill a hacker, so, it's just one of those challenges. But as far as them making the game stale, I believe they will if PUBG can't get a handle on it.
And do you play first person more or third person more?
I play third person more.
Third person? Okay.
I have played of FPP, especially with, you know, these tournaments that have been coming up. Because I just started tournaments, so doing tournaments, I'm doing a little bit more first person. But I've seen more hackers in third person than I have first person.
Yeah, I'd agree. What about you, Sen? How do you feel about hackers before and now? Have they decreased? Has the production team, dev team been cutting them down, or do you think it's just new hacks are coming out and it's not really doing much?
So I play mostly first person, and I'm aware that there are more hackers in third person. I personally encountered hackers maybe 5 times since I started playing this game. So it's not really a lot of times, and it's frustrating, and I hope like these people just go away. Like, I don't know why they do that. It just destroys the game for everyone. Yeah, I hope the devs will
How do you feel?
find more like ways to find them.
How do you feel like compared to maybe a different game you've played on mobile? Is it seem like they control hackers more than the average game, or less? Like they don't really care?
So I've played mostly PC games before, and not on multiplayer. Just I played The Witcher a lot.
Oh, okay.
Heroes of Might and Magic or Fallout, so games like that.
Oh, okay.
Multiplayers.
Okay.
It's really my first game like that
Okay.
I actually play with other players, so I can't really play.
And what about Pawdie? How do you feel about hackers? Has it been decreasing since season 1, increasing, kind of the same?
I think it went down. Season 1, when it was just TP, you would get hackers hitting you through the wall. You got to go like behind the house, like you go through the front wall, and then it won't penetrate both sides of the house.
Oh yeah,
you would have,
that's right.
You would have them shooting from underneath the floor of the map.
Yeah.
You would have them finishing your whole team in one clip. There was this one time, there was a guy on top of the hill by George Crates, and he was spraying a 249 down the hill towards the yellow houses, facing the ruins, and he got me. Then I have videos of the guys that would go in the walls by the gas station and the trucks, and they shoot you through it, but you can't shoot them through it.
You feel like it's decreased over time, though?
Yeah, they more like to stay in third person.
All right.
I guess because they could look around when they do it. I'm not sure.
Do you play third person often, or are you mostly first person?
I don't really play third person.
Okay.
I've never played. I want to play with my brothers.
So it may feel like it's decreased just because you haven't played third person as much?
Yeah, but in first person, they still go in the gas stations and the UPS trucks and they're staying there and shooting you through it.
Well, that glitch is done now. They fixed that one. Yeah. Or unless they're hacking, then maybe they're doing it a different way. But I know personally, season 1, just like you, they had people just so many hackers. I remember, I think towards season 2, before like the speed glitch came out, there was hackers at the top when I was in like Crown going for Ace. And when we saw people, I tell this to my team, when we saw these people, like the names of the clan, it was like some Chinese hacking clan. And every time we saw them, I think it was LBM, and every time we saw their name, we'd be like, "We're gonna die," because they can shoot you through. They can just shoot you through the mountain or whatever. So when we saw that, we would just try to hide somewhere in the middle of nowhere because we knew as soon as they saw you, you were dead. And the same thing, lasered.
Yeah, but do you know that actually a lot of players not from China, they were using the Chinese flag when they were hacking just to make it like.
Oh yeah.
Like it's Chinese, but yeah.
I mean, these ones had Chinese characters, but they could have, they could be fake. They could be fake, yeah.
You know.
I heard if you actually do that in China, you could go to jail or something. It's a lot of hacking.
My concern more was hacking is sort of difficult for a company because there's people always trying to do it and they always gotta counter it. It's like a continual thing. My problem was when they had like the speed bug happen in season 2, and it was something they could have fixed. They could have put a patch in, but they waited the whole season, basically the whole season, until they fixed it, and it basically ruined the game for a lot of people. It ruined the season for me for sure, but I
Yeah, they
was
in the
sad
past
when
fixing those.
I'm always disappointed when like bugs and those things come out, and sometimes they will fix it. Sometimes when it's so bad, they will have a hot patch the next day, and they fix stuff. I've seen it happen. And then there's sometimes where they just let really like being able to hacking or be able to glitch into through walls and into shoot out the cars and stuff. They take them forever to fix it. It's like they don't care. They know about it. They're like, we'll fix it eventually. But yeah, it's for them. I don't feel like it's important to stop, and I think it's an issue.
Well, here's my 2 cents as a developer myself. You know, I've had people exploit my coin system as far as Monstacord goes, and you know, sometimes it takes a while to find those bugs that or whatever the case might be. Sometimes it takes a while. Like Monstacord itself has over 400,000 lines of code.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta every bit of that code to make sure everything is in line. And you know, if you put something at line 30, you might have to put it at line 400,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever it might be. So, you know, in a sense, I can understand why they haven't or found a fix yet, but at the same time, I understand why they're not putting a team to work to find stuff like this.
Yeah, why it's not a priority. Like, because they'll still release outfits and all that stuff, and you're like, I know they're probably different divisions. They're in different, same company, but they're working and they have different jobs, but I feel like they're still releasing programmable stuff, like content that is programmed. So I don't know why they don't just allocate either a bigger team on that and less of a team on other, you know, like I feel like, especially since season 1 where they had no outfits and the whole plan behind PUBG Mobile at the beginning, people forget about this, but the whole plan was it's going to be free and it's going to bring all the people over to PUBG PC where they'll pay the $30 and then they'll buy all the keys. That's why they said they had no shop in there, and then all of a sudden, like season 2 rolls around, they got a shop, and now it feels like they're just working on the shop instead of working on the bugs, which is kind of disappointing. And you know, one of the concerns about if this game is going to continue to grow like it has been, or if it might be in trouble. And that'll bring me to the next question, which is, will games like Fortnite Mobile that's already released, or Call of Duty Mobile, which is coming out very shortly, which is very similar, they're also supposed to have a Battle Royale mode on there, so that looks like it'd probably be a pretty clean game, big company. What do you think, Mike? I know you said you played that before you came over, I think probably PC or something, but how do you think Call of Duty Mobile is going to do? Do you think it's going to take a hit on PUBG? You think people are gonna jump ship when Battle Royale comes out? Are you gonna jump ship when it comes out? You gonna play both? What's going on in your mind?
Call of Duty is a big name. PlayStation, PC, stuff like that. Call of Duty's been out so I could see people jumping ship. If not jumping ship, playing more of COD and then less of PUBG. Me, myself, I'll probably play both. Can't really tell exactly how it'll play out because, I mean, just like Apex Legends, you know, I tried that out and it's really not for me.
Yeah.
If COD comes out and it's not for me, you never know. I mean, PUBG and say, screw it. You know what I mean?
If it's exactly like Call of Duty PC is to Call of Duty Mobile, like PUBG Mobile is to PUBG is to PUBG Mobile, like if it's basically, like I think PUBG Mobile did a really good job of making it look just like PC and play like that. Obviously there's some adjustments, but it's pretty much a really solid transition. Do you think if it's like that, or you think you're gonna like, oh, it's gonna really be a hit to PUBG Mobile if it's a solid port like that?
Absolutely.
And you would probably jump ship if it was exactly the same, or probably play both, but you would definitely be on that other game.
Play it if it was anywhere near the he has put out.
Oh, any other quality?
It's the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, I mean, the PC version and the mobile version coincided. 'Cause, the PC version as well. Like about the PC version is it doesn't have all the modes that the mobile version has.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Yeah, it doesn't.
So, I mean, they actually did a better job on mobile.
Yeah, it's making them more money now.
Definitely.
And Sen, I know you said this is your first mobile online experience, basically first multiplayer kind of experience and first mobile experience, if I'm correct. Do you think something, obviously you haven't jumped ship to Fortnite, I don't know if you played it or not, or do you think you're going to look into playing Call of Duty? Do you still look for sort of other games similar to PUBG Mobile to check out to see if it's something that interests you more?
So as far as Fortnite goes, it's just not very appealing for me. I don't really find the graphics they have appealing, the modes they have appealing. So I will definitely not go towards Fortnite. I think it's more for younger audience, really, like for kids and teenagers. And as for COD, I will definitely check it out. Let's remember that it's also by the same developers.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how they will vary those two games so they're not too similar to each other, especially with the Battle Royale mode. And yeah, we'll see. It really depends on what developers will do. If they will still put a lot of heart into PUBG Mobile, then I guess the player base will also stay strong. But if they decide to go over to COD and just like drop the PUBG, then definitely we'll see the shift towards there. Yeah, I'm really curious just to see how it unfolds and what road they will take over that.
Sounds good. And Pawdie, how about you? Have you tried Fortnite? Is it not your thing? Is Call of Duty maybe going to be your thing? Are you going to check these games out, or are you PUBG Mobile 100%?
I tried the Fortnite. It's not my thing. It's horrible when I'm streaming it, and it gives me a headache, so I never won. COD, yeah, I'm gonna try that out. I've been playing COD since Xbox days, and I'm very interested to see how it is on mobile. And PUBG, yeah, I'm gonna still play that, but the thing is, before PUBG Mobile came out, there was a game Root to Survival where everyone basically came from. So there's always going to be more games that is going to draw people away from this and that game.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of that, people are going to do the pros and the cons and be like graphics, the ping rate, the loot, the hackers, the options. Like it's going to be all going to vary. But I think people are going to still stick around on PUBG and COD. Fortnite's probably going down because this new game, the Apex now, that's the new talk of the street, and now everyone is going to check it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to come to mobile too, because mobile is the future now. Everyone's being around, and mobile is very light, very good.
Yeah, and devices are getting better, stronger. It's getting easier to do.
Yeah. We have a gaming advice called Asus phones. I was looking at those two. Probably get myself one.
And like Sen said, this is actually from Tencent. This is like Call of Duty Mobile is from the same company. They're like the biggest gaming or technology company in China, right? So they're a huge company. So I'm also curious to see, like, are they I'm assuming they're planning it out. So it's gonna be different enough from PUBG Mobile and their other games but you know that we've had games like, I came from Knives Out, and that's similar to, what's the other games? There's so many games like this. Now they have like Free Fire. They have they're basically all from the same company too. They're like 3 or 4 different games. There's one that's really popular. I'm forgetting the name. It's another battle royale. What's that?
But regarding to Tencent, like for example, I don't know if you guys know, Tencent had a biggest messaging app in China called QQ.
Yeah.
And it was their main app. Right, but then they developed WeChat. Yeah, they developed WeChat. So basically the same company developed the same thing. WeChat is also a messenger app. and they really dropped their QQ, and they put all the love into WeChat, which is now the biggest platform to communicate in China. Like, you don't even, I used to live in China for 3 years, and you don't even give people your phone number. You just give them your WeChat. That's it. Like, so I'm really curious if the situation is going to happen with PUBG Mobile and COD. Like, if they will do the same thing, just drop their first idea, just leave it as it is. There are still some users of QQ, but the base is much lower than for WeChat, and there's not as much things happening for it anymore.
And that brings it to another good point. They have PUBG Mobile Lite in the works. It's been in the works for a while now. Not only do they have PUBG Mobile Lite, but they have PUBG Lite. They have the regular version going light, and they have PUBG Mobile Lite, which you would think PUBG Mobile is the PUBG Lite. Sort of, right? You can just play the emulator on PUBG Mobile, and it's like PUBG Lite. That's what I'm assuming, but now they have a real PUBG Lite and a PUBG Mobile Lite. It's only in, what is it, Indonesia? Or not Indonesia, Thailand? I forgot where it is. It's in one country, and they've just been testing it in that country, and it looks very similar. You know, they made a smaller map, and they it's 40 people instead. It looks like what I've been wondering is, why would they not just make that a mode inside PUBG Mobile already? Just make a smaller map and limit it. All you got to do is limit it to 40 people, or cap, you know, or you can even just cap the settings, people's settings or something. But I'm very curious, why are they making a PUBG Mobile Lite, and why are they making a PUBG Lite? Is this a new transition? Are they gonna do like they did QQ to WeChat? Are they gonna sort of been like, okay, we made something, it's great, we can make it same thing but better, you know, lighter, faster, more people can access it, so maybe let's make this, build it up, and then PUBG Mobile out the door, PUBG Mobile Lite, the new thing. Do you think that's gonna happen, Sen?
We'll see.
It's pretty hard to tell. Mike, you're a developer. What would you think they would do?
I don't think they'll go strictly just to light, because, you know, there's so the 100, you know, and if they were to do something like cap to 40 or whatever, they would have to also do that by, it means, you know, you could have 100 million devices, and not only does that put strain on your database, but that also puts strain on your game for something. So I don't think that going that route is actually wise for them. For people that have these older phones, like a Samsung Galaxy S4 or something. A friend of mine plays PUBG on an S4, and he said it works great, and he works on PUBG Lite. He works on mobile, but he's waiting for the Lite version. So, in a sense, yes, it's great, but veer that way, and I don't think they should keep that and do away with mobile itself.
And you play on emulator, so what do you think about PUBG Lite? You think that's kind of odd?
Yeah, kind of.
Is this just like a money thing?
Well, I think it's more of a get more of a player base type of thing.
Okay.
You know, kind of like a promotion. That's what it seems like. Emulator is a little bit different, but it's a little bit more different. We have a lot.
Sorry, you cut off there. You have a lot? Is that the end? Okay. So, Pawdie, did you have anything to add to that, or just kind of, we don't really know? It's kind of an extra question there. You have anything to say about PUBG Mobile Lite? Have you heard anything on it? Have you tried it?
I've never heard anything about this Lite guy.
Oh, wow. You've never heard of PUBG Mobile Lite?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah? Wow. So it's very interesting. Yeah, it's only one country they're testing it, and there's some videos out.
I don't think they're gonna end PUBG Mobile. They like to have a lot of options, and a lot of more customers. So glad it's more than likely they want to add another one after Lite, probably, like how they have Free Fall, Road of Survival, yada yada yada, and so on. So it's all about making a big web connection with more options to get more people on their games. That's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it's to build a player base. I'm always afraid when they build things, just like the QQ and the WeChat, and they've happened to other same companies where they kind of shoot themselves in the toe by making something, trying to make two things, and then people leave one because the other one is basically the same but better. Whether they do it on purpose or not, but I'm interested to see where PUBG Mobile Lite goes. I'm definitely gonna try it out. I'm definitely gonna try Call of Duty mobile out as well. Gonna see where those games go. Couple more questions here. If you guys are in the chat, you want to ask a question or let us know live on the air what you think about PUBG Mobile. You think it's dying? How do you guys feel? Or if you have a question for me or any of the guests, you can let us know in our Discord. A few more questions here. One of them is, we've all had this happen. Hacking's happened. Something happened in the game. We've had problems. We needed some dev support. In my experience, dev support is, especially as a streamer, as a tournament league holder, when there's issues of hacking and stuff like that, where I have video and footage and I need custom games have their own bugs and stuff, so it's really hard. Not a lot of control in there, so I tried to reach out to devs and stuff, and I can't ever get any support from the game, from their Discord, from their website. When there's hacking, when there's anything going on that is serious, I've never gotten a good response ever. I've always just gotten, hey, we're looking into this, bullshit response. Mike, have you, I mean, you're kind of new to this. Have you when you run into hackers or something, have you tried to contact dev support?
Oh, I haven't actually done it. Anytime I do, it's either when I'm not recording or streaming, which is kind of unfortunate. I haven't had any contact with the devs at all.
Oh yeah, okay. What about Sen?
I think they should really work on their service because you never get replies to anything. I tried contacting them in game and via email before regarding some issues, and I'm just getting generic answers that are not even answering my question, and I get them after a week. So yeah, I really hope they would work on that.
Pawdie, have you had any luck with the PUBG Mobile devs and your endeavors?
Never. Never. Recording does not work on this thing.
Yeah, and I'm sad to see.
One thing that works perfectly is a shop.
I'm sad to. I'm just.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot to say about the dev team. I mean, on their Discord, they always have people complaining about the same stuff, and it's always the same answer. Go to the game, and that's the only way to get to the response, and you never get a response. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a big issue, especially for a big company. They need to have, and then when things do happen, like when people complain enough about banning or people hacking and stuff, and then they don't ban them, they just reset their rank to bronze or whatever. And it's like, you even go for the ban, you just went for a reset of rank. Some things are silly. I think it could definitely hurt the game in the long run, so hopefully they don't get too spread out with PUBG Mobile Lite, PUBG, this, arcade modes, costumes, and then lose sight. That's one thing that I'm worried about. Two more questions. This one probably going to come to a surprise to a lot of people, but it's very, very big news for PUBG, big deal for PUBG, and a lot of games now who use this revenue model, but there is a loot box ban that's already occurred in Belgium and the Netherlands, so it is completely illegal for any game to have loot boxes. So I guess you can't play PUBG Mobile in in Netherlands or Belgium. It's totally illegal. They consider it gambling, which it basically is. And they are now this year. This happened last year, so now this year, basically November, December of 2018, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission started to investigate about this as well, if they're going to ban it. Canada as well. I mean, sorry, not Canada, Europe as well. They're also going to be looking into it this year. I think there's a few other countries that have been looking into, and it mostly sparked from Star Wars Battlefront 2, where they had like the EA game where they had the loot boxes. They're basically scamming people. It's basically like a casino game. They're trying to steal people's money, and it's a good question for me. A lot of times on PUBG, I'm like, I want to buy this costume. Why don't they just make it $10 to buy this costume? You know? And it's because even if they made it $100 to make the costume, and somebody's gonna buy it for $100, you could have a loot box, and they'll spend $1,000 and still not get it, and they'll keep spending money until they get it, until they're out of money. And I think it's a big problem. I mean, it's a great money maker for them, but I think it's a little bit ridiculous. I feel like they should put this ban in as soon as possible, and I think you should just be able to buy clothes outright. I think the business model will still be good. I think too many games are doing this whole loot box craze thing. I think it's out of hand. What do you think, Mike? You're a developer. I know there's money that needs to be made when you have a project. You need to hire people, code, all that good stuff. How do you feel about this loot box ban? You think it's a good thing? You think they shouldn't mess with it? Is Mike still here?
That they should mess with it. The reason being is because somehow there's always going to be an expense. You know, if content and you have to, the database itself, you got to pay for that database monthly. Me, myself, have jumped around 3 different databases because I'm not looking at $600 a month. Small scale, I only have 120,000 people on my database. With them having over, 10 million, 20 million people playing, usage is going to be 10 times higher than what mine's going to be. So I don't think they should ban this.
Do you think it would be better to implement like $5 to play, or just buying costumes outright? You think that would still be okay, or you think that's really gonna destroy the game if that happens?
Well, I think if they were any game that you play, everybody's always trying to show up the next with a new outfit. So that is definitely something that they could do. It's actually something that we have talked about as well. So if they're going to go ahead and ban the my mic's cutting out
a little bit.
Sorry about that. Yeah, if they should bring in the buying of outfits, because like I said, everybody's going to next with an outfit.
Okay. Sen, how do you feel about the whole loot box? Do you think you should just be able to buy things? Do you think they should have a subscription model maybe, or you think they should stick with the loot boxes? You think it's fair and people can choose whether to spend it or not? Whether it's fair.
I don't mind the loot boxes at all, but I think they should change it a bit, because I know people who spend a lot of money and never get anything.
Yeah.
So maybe just increase the possibility of getting some rare item, because it's way too low right now in my opinion. But I don't mind it in general. I think people can think for themselves. It's their money. They can do whatever they want with it. So I don't really like the idea of things being regulated.
And Pawdie, how do you feel?
I don't think they're gonna change it. They make a lot of money off it. That's your biggest money grab section, is random crates. And then after people spend over 500 plus trying to get an outfit and they don't get it, and then later on in the months it's for like $20, and then later on, if you don't get it through that, they have it through bargain. So everyone who would like to get like my outfit, they're probably going to get it at a very cheaper price, around next Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's basically grab this big money, then whoever don't get it, I'm gonna sell it for this amount, and after that, it's gonna get it for like $5 in the little bundle sections and special crates, as they like to call it.
You think if this new law came in this year and it was like they can't do loot boxes anymore, you think they would bring down PUBG Mobile, or you think they're just gonna implement something else like just higher costs?
Something to bend the rule. I think they're gonna try and find something around that ban law.
Yeah, probably.
They make a lot of money from that.
Yeah.
And let's see. If they do though, I don't think no one will really. It will be a big loss to them because they're already making tons of money after this. But it will probably open up their eyes to probably fixing the game or something to work else on.
All right, and the last question is it's kind of a more general question. Let me know what device you use and how is it kept up during all the updates and transitions over time of PUBG Mobile. I know I started off on an Nvidia Shield tablet, which is no one knows about it because it's super old. It's like 4 or 5 years old, and it's a gaming tablet, so it worked pretty. It was a smaller tablet and it worked pretty well. Especially season 1, I didn't really have a problem so much. It really started taking effect after the costume shop came up. It really started to take effect, and recently I had to stop using that tablet. It was so I got so much lag. It was just, if I was in a close quarters fight, it would lag so much. It just felt like I can't really play this how I want to play it because I'm just gonna lag out. So I upgraded to the Tab S4. It works really. It's the best of the best Android tablet basically you can get, and it works fantastic. But I mean, it was an investment. I had to really think about it, and it's a tablet, so you don't do a lot with a tablet. Even a good phone like an iPhone is gonna cost $6,000 to $1,000, you know. So is it what's your phone like, Mike? No, actually you play on emulator. How does that keep up? You can play on low settings, you can just play on high settings. Is it good for your PC?
Depending on my internet signal at that time, I can actually play on the highest settings that it has. Otherwise, you know, I have to play pretty low because rendering issues, or while I'm streaming, my stream will take a little bit more of my bandwidth, so I have to things lower on. As far as mobile though, I play on an LG Stylo 3 Plus, and I haven't really had any issues. Every now and then it lags, but I don't have any issues with it at all.
Oh, nice. How much like RAM does that have?
My computer?
No, the L3? Was that L3 Plus?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay, but
it had 16 gigabyte memory though. I know that. Okay,
but pretty standard phone, and it runs fine. Low settings.
Yeah, I don't have problems. Every now and then when they do an update, I'll have to like I had to delete beta to put PUBG Mobile back on my phone.
Okay, so it runs better. Sam, what about you? What do you play on, and has it been keeping up over the year, or are you gonna feel like an upgrade? Do you think PUBG Mobile's kind of updating too fast and people's devices won't keep up, or you think it's fine?
I'm playing on iPhone 6s Plus, and it's been pretty terrible for me, to be honest. My device only runs on lowest setting, and it still overheats and lags. The overheating is the worst because sometimes the phone will be super hot, and it's just, you know, hands will get sweaty, can't really play, and it's the frame drop often gets me too.
Yeah, and that's been like it the whole time. You stuck with the 6, and it's
pretty much since season 3, I would say. It's been getting worse and worse.
Okay,
really.
I feel like same for me too. Season 2, end of season 2, 3.
Yeah, season 2 was playable still.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any issues back then, but right now it's not really great. So I'm looking forward to getting new device sometime in the future, but not really on my priority.
Okay.
But yeah.
And Pawdie, what about you? I think you probably have a better device.
Oh, I play on the XS Max iPhone.
Okay.
It has good load of memory on it. My ping is always decent. It's 20 ms flat, but when the Kingdom came out, it was very choppy until they fixed it. And then when they fixed it, quotation, then all the maps got choppy.
Yeah, same. I remember that.
And then they had a maintenance. And when they did the maintenance, I couldn't play on the phone because the game was zoomed in on the. So then I had to wait for another maintenance update to fix that problem. So I had to go back to my iPhone X, which was pretty weird. When your hands get used to another device, it feels very weird. The graphics is good. I use very high graphics. I like colorful things. My viewers like colorful grass and meadows and gun skins, yada yada yada. But I've been thinking about that Asus phone. I've never have seen it in person, but I heard it's a great phone for gaming wise. So maybe one day I move over to that. But for now, this phone is pretty awesome. If my hands get warm, I usually wash my hands in cold water. So
oh yeah, is that you?
yeah,
I always have to wash. When I had my old tablet, I had to
thing,
soapy wash my hands and try to get the oils off.
Overheating so bad.
But I usually have like a fan behind me blowing my hands to keep it all nice.
The only part of my phone that actually up by the power button, and that's it.
Like your mic is cutting out so bad.
Must be in the basement. Where you live, Mike?
I live in Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Okay. I wonder where their server is. I think the server is on the West Coast. Pawdie, it is? Because my sitting MS, even with the Tab S4, is like 36, 28 to 36 or something. Yeah. But if you're in Tennessee...
you get a nice ping, though, your game still gets little lag chops.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting that Mike said even on emulator, even if your PC is good, you can run it. It's about the server, too, and how fast their ping is. You know?
Oh, I wish I had 20 ping. Never had it.
Not me neither. 20 ping is a dream.
That has a ping of 4.
Nice for them. I'm usually on an AM at around 200. So.
I think the lowest I've ever done is 2.
Okay, so we're gonna take some viewer questions if there is anybody who would like to have them. You can either type it in the chat, live chat right now, or you can join our Discord if you'd like to get on the mic and talk to us through our Discord. We can listen in on you, and you can either tell us how you feel about PUBG Mobile. Do you think it's dying? Do you think it's going up? This is the best game ever. Is there any specific question relating to the life expectancy of PUBG Mobile for any of our guests? You think, if you have do you think there's PUBG Mobile 2 coming out? That's a good question, Mike. Is there PUBG Mobile 2 coming out? You think so?
Probably.
Probably. Right. What about you, Sen? You think they're gonna make a PUBG 2, or are they gonna just try to?
No, why would they do that? Doesn't make
well,
sense.
eventually, right?
I don't know. It will be season 50. I don't know.
Oh, you think they're just gonna just season up, right? That could be a thing. Season 50.
Yeah.
Pawdie, you think there's gonna be a PUBG Mobile 2?
And then seasons, they will just cut it out to 1 week.
Hardcore season. Yeah, I think
it's gonna be just one straight PUBG, just add-ons and more add-on of bugs and so on.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they do try to make a PUBG Mobile 2, it would just be a totally different game. I don't think they would try to make, but maybe, because I'm thinking PUBG is a very strong name, so they do have that. They already have the name behind it. It'd be interesting. And how would they change it enough to make it something new? It's kind of interesting. But let's see if we have any questions in the Discord. If not, we will we can have some final comments and we can end it here. If not, let's see. Boom. Looks like no. All right. So let me just finally give you guys a final outro, and then you guys can say your final thoughts on PUBG Mobile if it's dying. Just kind of sum up all your thoughts today, and for everyone to know who's just jumping in now. So let's start with Mike. Mike is the owner of TR Games. It's a PUBG Mobile Discord group. I believe that's his team. That's your team, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Titan's Revenge.
Titan's Revenge, competitive team.
Yeah.
Pretty new. Are you guys recruiting?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so new team. If you guys are interested in more competitive side, he's also the creator of Monstacord, which is a Pokemon Discord bot. It's really fun. We added it to our Discord. He also has the official Monstacord Discord. If you guys want to go in there, there's always prizes, and if you like Pokemon or games, definitely fun to check out. Sen is actually Mike. Let's have your final outro, and then I'll introduce Sen.
All right. So basically what we said for last hour. There's nothing much more to add. I hope the PUBG just keep going, keep growing, and getting better.
Okay.
And see what happens then. Yeah.
And Mike, any final words on PUBG Mobile, its future?
I'm just hoping things do get better as far as the ping goes, as far as matching goes. But as far as the gameplay itself, I'm looking forward to the new map that's supposed to be coming out in April. I'm really excited.
New map.
Oh yeah, new map.
There's a new map coming out somewhere around April 25th.
Do we know the theme by any chance?
It's sort of like islands a little bit.
Yeah,
So
it's supposed to be like 100 islands.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It actually had this. I had this idea a long time ago, and it's not exactly how I thought it would be, but it's pretty close.
100 islands? No, that's gonna be off.
This is fun. That's fun.
We're like connected by bridges or something.
Imagine the bridge camps. 100 bridge camps.
I think there's gonna be a lot of boat. Well, I thought about this idea before because I was like, they should implement boats. Like people do take boats, but not really.
It's
It's like
easy to
yeah, but if they added like a new boat, you know, that's faster, or not faster, but stronger, and then I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to have boats implemented, have more boats instead of cars, and have islands. So it's a sort of, it's pretty much like it. I think it'd be interesting. We'll see.
No, I would like to see something like Hong Kong, you know, like, or just some abandoned city, like a huge city, like urban area. I'd like to see map like that.
Yeah. I would love a city, just a giant city would be awesome. Do New York City,
Kind of like Los Angeles.
Yeah, Los Angeles. Do something like that. That would be so fun.
Yeah, giant city, underground parking.
I really like Los
buildings.
Leones from Miramar. I really like that. I want to play it just because of it's sort of a city inside of PUBG.
But I don't know, the buildings in Erangel and Miramar are not very various. They're all similar. I really like in Big Handy, they really stepped up the game and they actually varied the buildings a bit. So
yeah, they did. I like that.
Yeah.
Vikendi is one of my favorite maps.
Exactly, the best map.
Pawdie also streams. He is twitch.tv/PAWDI3. Pawdie with a 3. Check him out as well. Pawdie, you have any closing statements on PUBG Mobile's future?
They need to just fix those bugs. They need to focus on them. I'm sure their custom rate will go up when bugs are fixed in the game, because a lot of people rage quit over certain bugs and glitches that people used to like to exploit, and that's going to be a big thing if they actually work on it. And yeah, otherwise on that, I'm good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was a little bit of a shorter stream. I didn't know this is our first one. We had some technical difficulties and stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the talk show, if you guys want to have some more, we do have a couple more planned with different hot topics. I believe the next one coming up is will PUBG Mobile be the next big esports game? And we'll leave all those questions and answers until next time. But if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe or follow. Join us on Discord if you want to be part of this. If you are a part of an organization, a league, a team, anything related to PUBG Mobile, if you want to have a voice, come down to our Discord. And for the next couple of episodes, we are looking for some more guests so that they come on. I want to hear everybody's side to the story. It's really good to have different people from different platforms who play from different teams or do different things and see what their side of the story is. And we'll see next time how the esports team will go. Thank you so much, Mike, Sen, and Pawdie, for joining me. This has been HIPFIRE.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See everybody next time. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. See you around.
All right, bye, guys.